What's up, movie collectors, and welcome back to the Lucid Nightmare. I'm your host, as always, Jay Schatzer, and it's time for another Quickie movie haul video, where I showcase more of the stuff that I've been buying to add to this monstrosity behind me. So let's dive right in, and let's see what I have to offer this time. And I hope everyone had a great Halloween. Mine was pretty much low-key, just watched movies. Nothing exciting. Ate a lot of candy, I guess. But let's go to the movies. First movie up is a movie I have not seen before, but I'm looking forward to checking it out for the first time. It is an oldie, but what looks to be a goodie. I don't even know what the year is on this one. 30s? I'm gonna say 30s. It is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And I don't even know if this is the first kind of iteration of this story that's been told over and over and over again. But looks to be fantastic. I know Warner Archive just put this one out. It was actually released a little bit early, but I got it in the mail maybe last week. And I just got to make some time to actually watch it and see what all the fuss is about. But love the older black and white films. And just really looking forward to checking it out, seeing what it's all about. But that's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. But up next is a fantastic horror anthology that I revisited for the first, well, since a long time, since I watched it when I was younger, probably teenager. And still holds up, still is amazing, and really appreciate it. I've been going through a lot of horror anthologies as of late. But the one I'm talking about right now is Tales from the Dark Side, the movie. And really awesome stuff. Some great stories in there. A lot of interesting actors show up. And yeah, just really solid horror anthology flick. And I've never owned it prior on any format, so really excited that it's in the collection now to add to my horror anthology kind of groupings. But really awesome stuff. Scream Factory put this one out, and yeah, I watched it a couple days ago and really loved it. But yeah, been meaning to watch Cat's Eye. Cat's Eye is another horror anthology that I gotta revisit. It's been a long time. That little goblin that steals the breath of the child, horrifying. This one's awesome. It's got a gargoyle that comes to life. In the one story, a mummy. And what else? I'm trying to think. Well, the chick from Blondie. She's trying to cook some little child throughout the whole show, the whole movie. But a lot of cool, interesting stuff, like I said, and just completely fun. But speaking of fun, I just looked over to see what's next, and we've got ourselves, I believe it's an 80s horror comedy that kind of flew under the radar for anyone that doesn't know about it. But I watched it on Amazon Prime maybe 3 years ago and really dug it, and then just finally was able to obtain it for myself and add it to the collection. It's from 1981. It is Wacko, and this is pretty much like a full-on spoof, like a horror spoof. So there's a lot of just silly moments in it, slapstick humor, weird, wacky antics, and just craziness all around. But totally fun, and does not take itself serious at all. But very well done. It is very well done. Just fun stuff. Just think like Airplane and like Naked Gun, like that kind of weird humor where it's just over the top, weird, and silly. But it's kind of a play on slasher film, so it's got a little story about a killer in a town whacking off people, wacko. But really awesome, and just cool stuff and fun. And that's Wacko. And who put this one out? Vinegar Syndrome put this one out. So really awesome. They do a lot of awesome weird, strange movies that nobody's really heard of. I actually picked up a few, ordered directly from them to get it because I can't find it anywhere for a decent price, so might as well get it before it skyrockets up. But Wacko is a great pickup, and first time in the collection, so happy for that. But next up is a fantastic Bigfoot film that really is something to behold. My one friend picked it up. Brian picked it up for me at Cinema Wasteland this year, just last month, at the booth for Synapse Films, right? Yep, Synapse Films. And just a really, really awesome Bigfoot film. Like, I'm sure you guys have noticed that I have a lot of Sasquatch, Bigfoot, and Yeti movies, and I've always wanted to have this one in the collection, and now it is there with a nice, beautiful slipcover, which I'm not a slipcover guy. I don't understand slipcover collecting, but I got it. And yep, right here. So, Creature from Black Lake. Really awesome, awesome film. And I did watch it long time ago when I was in college with friends, and then revisited it recently and loved it even more this time around. But fun film. Cool Bigfoot antics, and characters are really cool too. Follows kind of two main characters as they're trying to like uncover the sightings that have happened in this rural, like, wooded area. So there they are, and they look scared shitless, but really cool stuff. But up next is a classic genre director's kind of early efforts. It's more of a Hitchcockian kind of tale, but definitely filled with horror and paranoia. It's John Carpenter's Someone's Watching Me. And this one, it was put out by Scream Factory. And it's just a really, really fun film with a lot of John Carpenter regulars that he has a lot of the same actors and actresses that kind of show up. Adrienne Barbeau's in this one. Also Charles Cypher and Lauren Hutton. Lauren or Laura? Lauren Hutton takes the main character spot, and she's pretty much just plagued by a stalker. So it's kind of like a Lifetime movie, but done by John Carpenter. But it's all like takes place in a high-rise building, so apartment building. A lot of cool kind of picturesque shots of her like kind of looking across to the other high-rise building, seeing if anyone's spying on her from there, because they seem to know everything about her. But it's a really, really cool thriller. It's always been one of my favorites of his, and I've always kind of wanted to get it on Blu-ray because I've never owned it prior, on DVD, and it's finally in the collection, so very, very happy for that. So I think my Carpenter collection is pretty much complete at this point. But yep, Someone's Watching Me, damn good film, check it out if you're a fan of John Carpenter or just kind of Hitchcockian kind of thrillers. But let's keep rolling to, let me get a little sip. Let's keep rolling to a classic sci-fi horror film. And I never watched it before until recently, and I really, really loved it, but I've seen the remake hundreds of times. But I'm talking about the original, The Blob. Criterion release here, and like always, they do an amazing job with the transfer and of all the bells and whistles that you'd want in a film collector's kind of checklist. But, yes, Steve McQueen in The Blob, and it's just a fun kind of schlocky sci-fi horror flick that has some pretty awesome special effects for the time, and just an inventive kind of premise that has a lot of kind of qualities of being silly, but then frightening, and just crafted really well, too. So, yep, The Blob. And, yep, never had this one in the collection, so it's another first in there, even though I've seen it before. Or not seen it before, but I've heard of it and then actually got to finally watch the thing. But it's always been overshadowed by the 1980 kind of remake, in my experience. So I never really got around to seeing the original for some reason. But now I have, and now the collection is that much more complete. But let's move it on to something totally different. We got a, I guess it's an action biker crime movie. And I've never seen it before, but I got a lot of my info from Red Letter Media. Did a featurette on the film. I don't know if it's one of their best of the worst. But the movie I'm talking about is Stone Cold. and it's just an over-the-top 80s action kind of thriller, I guess. And just a guy goes undercover in a biker gang trying to uncover something. And there he is right there, his chest out. But it's just a crazy looking film with, like I said, over-the-top action sequences, fight sequences, explosions. It really goes balls to the wall to kind of make its point. But really, really fun looking. So I'm really looking forward to checking this one out. It's been on my kind of docket over here of stuff I'm going to be watching next. And I am really excited for this one because I love 80s action films, and especially ones that I've never really heard of until recently, or knew about them but just didn't know how intense and insane they were. So hopefully I'll be able to see this one soon. Stone cold. But next up is a very interesting film that is pretty recent. I believe it came out last year, but it is an animated sci-fi fantasy film in the vein of heavy metal, those kind of, I guess, aesthetic, the very adult kind of supercharged sci-fi things, but it's Spine of the Night. And this one's really impressive. It's great visuals. It does harken back very strongly to the heavy metal days. Just a very beautiful film in general, very violent, very visceral. It just kicks ass and takes names and just goes full out and just nudity and adult content. So it's really cool. And I'm hoping that these kind of, I think it's 2 creators because I watched it behind the scenes. And I hope they get more projects made because they really did an amazing job with this one. It's just, and the story is kind of hard to explain, so just check the trailer out somewhere and really get a flavor of what it has to offer, because it really is badass and has a special kind of quality that you don't really see anymore. And I'm glad they brought that kind of rotoscope style back into play with this one. So definitely check it out if you're a fan of like heavy metal. I'm trying to think of what other ones it's kind of like. I mean, Fire and Ice, but I mean, those are all pretty much the same kind of directors at Rankin Bass. Yeah, awesome film. Highly recommend it. So definitely check it out if any of that sounds interesting to you. Really cool. So yeah, Spine of the Night. Let's see what else we got coming up here. I got 2 more for you. Another Criterion release. This one's a very, very classic science fiction film based on H.G. Wells stuff. And yeah, things to come. It's pretty much kind of goes through a whole bunch of different eras and generations of people dealing with life after mankind has kind of brought ourselves to the brink of extinction with nuclear war. People are rebuilding society, and then an offshoot society that's very advanced, filled with scientists and things like that. They come back to kind of reclaim some of the land, and they have flying ships. It's just a really interesting story about kind of the cautions of war, nuclear war specifically, I guess, and just the devastation that man can wreak on themselves, and also kind of the almost like the inevitable downfall of our stupidity in some point, because there's a lot of like mob mentality kind of scenes in here where ignorant people are kind of just like screwing up everything. But it's really, really cool. Definitely epic in scope and ambitious, and definitely deserves its kind of title for being a very classic sci-fi feature. But Criterion, like I said, put it out. Really, really beautiful transfer, like always. And I did watch this one recently and loved it. I think I watched it twice in a row. But cool stuff. A lot of very interesting visuals, especially the futuristic kind of cityscapes and stuff like that. It's a lot of ambitious stuff. But that is things to come. Good pickup. First time in the collection too, never owned it prior in any format. And last, oh boy, last, but I'm not going to say last but not least. This is a very strange problem I've had recently. All right, I'll just show you what it is and then I'll give my explanation. All right, the movie I picked up is the second movie in the recent Halloween trilogy, Halloween Kills. This, like I said, it's the second one, and last night I revisited the first Halloween 2018 film of this trilogy, and I liked it a lot when I first saw it in theaters, but it wasn't like strong feelings or anything like that. I was just like, yeah, it was decent, good stuff. When I saw this in theaters, I've never been more pissed off at a movie, not since when I was in college, when I was just an angsty 20-year-old that hated everything and was pissed off a lot, and loved to bitch and moan. This one, I don't know what it was about it. It burned me bad, and I've been wanting to revisit it. Now, why I've been wanting to revisit it is because I saw the third movie, Halloween Ends, in theaters. It's got to be a month ago, or whenever it was out, and I ended up loving that movie. Loving that movie so much that I'm willing to give this one a chance. So I bought it to watch it again and to kind of just go with the flow, because the first one was a pretty much straightforward Halloween story of Michael Myers back. Jamie Lee Curtis's character is kind of dealing with the trauma of everything she had, and she wants to kill him. Simple story. This one is pretty much based on mob mentality and saying the same catchphrase over and over again, "Evil dies tonight," and just cartoonish situations, characters, just weird everything. And it was almost insulting to me, and I don't know why. That's why I want to revisit it, to see why I just viewed it so poorly. But the third movie, Halloween Ends, I loved how it kind of captured the feeling of Halloween, the season, and still brought something fresh and new to the table. It wasn't just Michael Myers. There was also a bunch of different things that happened in there, characters getting twisted up into new scenarios, kind of a passing of the torch, a lot of mythology with the mask, and the kills were amazing, the music was amazing. I really actually did like the characters. I did not like the granddaughter in all the other ones, the other movies, but I sympathized with her here. The new guy, Cody, comes in, and I kind of liked his character. I like what they did with him. It really keeps you on your toes. There's a lot of interesting things that happen. The beginning is really out of nowhere, but for this one was just crazy, insane bullshit, in my opinion. But I gotta give it a chance, because now that I've seen the full trilogy, I'm kind of appreciating what this director did with the material. Like I said, 2018 Halloween, enjoyed it, watched it last night, really enjoyed it, so I love that one. I'm gonna revisit this one soon, the next couple days. Halloween Ends, love the shit out of that one for some reason. And yeah, I'm gonna give this one a chance. I'm gonna watch it as less of a cinema snob and just kind of watch it as for entertainment value. So we'll see what I think when I revisit Halloween Kills, but yeah, it's in the collection now. What can I say? So I gotta give it a redemption, see what I think about it. But guys, that's it for me. Hope you like that one, and I hope you like what I'm doing here. If you do, please like and subscribe, and if you have time on your hands, leave a comment below, because I'd love to hear from you, especially about what you think about the new Halloween trilogy. I don't know why it's boggled my mind for some reason. But guys, that is it. So take care, stay out of trouble, and I will see you the next time I'm in front of a camera talking about movies. See ya!